guys, welcome to the studio and welcome to a Taperlogy video. Okay, so in my last Taperlogy video I did the unboxing and sorry, let's just fix the autofocus, there we go. I did an unboxing and in amongst the stuff in that box were these beautiful cards and papers. These 3 cards are textured, they are beautiful. Refocus. Yeah, that raised bit that you can see there really is raised. It is gorgeous. There's some great embossing on that. Beautiful and fun texture. And then we had, or have, a multitude of other designs and things just on normal paper. Okay, so I instantly knew, as I said many times in the video, I instantly knew what I wanted to do with these when I saw them. And what I wanted to do was make some cards. Okay, because I am well into the card making at the moment. So I took this piece, because you get 2 of each designs. I took this piece. And 1 second, guys. Okay, we're back. Sorry, guys, just people on the door, knocking on the door, selling stuff. Anyhow, yeah, you get 2 of each. These textured ones, you only get 1 of each, and there's 3 of them. These paper ones, you get 2 of each design, which is fabulous. So I took this one, and my original plan was to... just let me show you, I'll show you on this one actually. I cut my cardstock and I cut a background piece out of some pattern 12x12 cardstock that I have. And the idea was to make it roughly the same size, because some of these have like little cutout bits, and I thought, well, that'd be nice to put there so you could just see it peeking out behind, and then you layer that on there and on there, and then that was fine. But then when I came to put the sentiment on top, it didn't look right. There was too much of this and it just didn't look right, and it needed a grounding space. So what I did was I cut this in half. So yep, I literally cut it in half, and then the piece that I was going to use for the background, granted I did not get it on very straight at all, but the piece I was going to use for the background I cut to just a little bit shorter than the height of the card, and then this I did cut down a little bit. Did I? Yes, I did cut it down just a little bit. As you can see, that should have gone there. So I just chopped a tiny bit off the bottom to make it smaller than that. Then I used a piece of this to give the sentiment something to ground itself on, which is fabulous. And this is a top loading card. Oh, I keep saying top loading. I'm used to pockets. I'm used to working like side loading, top loading, this, you know, corner loading, whatever, because of pockets in journaling. So this would be a, what do they call it, like an A-frame card, because it's coming down that way. Now what I would also do is, because I haven't used very thick cardstock with this background, so I would then just find a lovely piece of paper and cut it shorter than the card and just glue it in onto the back, which gives that a bit more heft, so that when it stands up, I know a lot of people hang cards on things, but when it stands up it just gives it a bit more stability. Yeah, this is just watercolour cardstock that I have. But yeah, as I said, granted I did not get that very straight, but it doesn't matter. I really like the simplicity of that, and that's kind of the way for me to go at the moment, because I'm not new to card making, but this sort of card making I am relatively new to. So yeah, I am kind of going for a little bit of simplicity, so we're going to put that up there. This here is just my glue stand. It's actually the stand for the glue. Excuse me, for the glue gun. but I've not been using that of late. I've been using this. It's the same glue. It's just in a bigger bottle. So nothing to worry about there, you know, nothing of importance there. So let's pop that over there. Okay, so as I've already used this one, I'm not going to use it again. But because I cut it in half, what I could do is make the exact same card again by, you know, doing that. Cut another piece of this, cut a bit off the bottom of that, and then use what's left of the cardstock to then give a sentiment a landing ground. So you could have like a double pack, but you could have like 2 cards in one, you know, so you've got one half there and then you've got the other half on there, and you could do it slightly different. So instead of doing it that way, you could layer it this way and put the sentiment there. You could do all sorts, guys, or like right down the middle. Anywho, let's get on. I'm going to use one of the other ones now. I'm going to use these beautiful not embroidered, embossed. I cannot find my words today. Yes, I cannot find my words today, and please excuse me guys if I am a little bit shaky on camera. One, I haven't filmed a proper video for a long time, well, since Creep on June, and 2, I kind of took a little tumble down the stairs yesterday. Nothing major, but kind of took a little tumble downstairs, 3 or 4 steps yesterday, whilst doing some summer cleaning, spring cleaning, delayed spring cleaning. And yeah, it's kind of shaken me up a little bit. I know that was yesterday, but I am in pain today, so yes. Anywho, today, like I said, we're going to do these ones, and these are the cardstocks that I chose for the background along with that yesterday. I did do a video yesterday on making that, but my camera decided about 5 minutes before the end of the video that it was going to cut off because the battery was low on the camera, on the phone, the filming phone, and it cut off. But normally it just cuts off and that's it, done. But no, it decided to cut off and didn't save. It wiped the whole video, so I was very frustrated. Anywho, so we're going to do this again from scratch. So let's just find one that works nicely with each other, kind of complements, which I think that does nicely. I have a very bad backache today. I think that one pops that up nicely. And excuse me guys, I think maybe that. Okay, but we'll go with this one first. Let's do a nice neutral toned one. Okay, so my base is 4x6, I think. This one is a normal book fold, so it would be 4 inches, or it's actually just over. It was like 4 1/4 by 6, so 4 1/4 by 6 inch. But what I did do was, because it's my new fun thing to do, my fun new thing to do, should I say, but because these have these raggedy edges on them, I got my Tim Holtz decal edge trimmer, which is the one that has the groovy edging on it, and I used that. I cut my card to 4 to 6 inch, and then I just popped it in at 4 1/4, sorry, to 6 inch, and then I did it to 4 inch and cut the edge, and then I did it to well, it ended up just under 6 inch and cut the edges. Well, no, yeah, both edges. So yeah, it did work out at pretty much 4x6. I need that. You can do them whatever size you want, guys. I just basically looked at this and thought, right, well, I need it to be that big. Which is kind of what I do. I don't overly measure. It's just like, right, well, I need it that big with a bit of a border, so I'll cut it there. yeah, but now of course, like I said, we're going to cut these in half. So let's do this one, which is now 3 3/4. I think I did them to 2 inches, I believe. Let's get the smaller ruler out. So the big one I did at 2 inches, and that one I also did at 2 inches. So these strips, just cut up for 2 inches, guys. It doesn't matter how big your papers are, just cut them at a 2 inch. Okay. And this one as well. Ooh, it's kind of breaking my heart to cut these in half, but... Or if you wanted a little bit more of that pattern on there, or kind of split evenly, you can do them a little bit bigger, but I'm just going to stick to the 2 inch. And there we go. Lovely. And then that can go over there for now. Alright, as I said, I've already done the cardstock on my... I know I was focused, but it's the autofocus on. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so now we put that on there, and then we pop that on there, and I just cut a little bit off the top there because it's empty. But do we want it that way, or do we want to do it from that side? I think with these, I think with this one I do want to cut a little bit more off there, to be honest, just to get that. Oh no, if I cut that off I'm losing this extra edge, but we could add it in ourselves, I guess. So this is now going to be 1 3/4 of an inch. Like so. And then I need to cut some off to make it slightly smaller. So we're going to go to 5 inch. Is that good? That looks decent enough to me. Maybe a little bit more. So let's go to 4 1/2. Yeah, 4 1/2, because we're not losing too much off the bottom. Smaller than that one, but each card, you know, you can just make to your own specifications, sort of thing. We'll leave that one for now. Let's work with this one. And this, I think I'm going to leave it there like that, and we're going to put that one there like that, but I think let's just cut a little bit off this one. So this one is 5 1/2. Let's take it to 5 1/4. So just the teensiest bit off the bottom. Yeah, that gives it a bit better grounding. Okay, and for these, we're going to make some Banu dies. Some Banu shapes. So, obviously, if you've got patterned cardstock, you know, figure out which way up or down you want it to go. So we're going to stick to that there, but then we're going to angle these at the bottom here. Now I do have some dies that would do that, but there's an easy way of doing it. Easier way of doing it. Now for thinner cardstock, you could just fold it like that and get your scissors. Oh, that hurts. And then just cut kind of like a little triangular shape, like so. So that would be that. And then we're going to do the same for this, or you could just kind of eyeball it. So say I kind of want it there, and then it'd be easier to see the slit on the back from corner to that edge, and from that corner to that edge, like so. That's a bit wonky actually, it's not quite straight. There we go. Okay, Now the issue, well, not even issue, but with doing that, that is now a straight edge, it's not a wonky edge. So then what you could do is either with your scissors or with, there, I have a pegboard right in front of me, guys, and I still can't find anything. Or just like the Tim Holtz distress tool. And a little secret, guys, this little buddy dude here, the Tim Holtz distress tool, if you are a sewer or, you know, whatever, you can get these. They're just like thread cutters and they do the exact same job. So, I mean, I'm all for supporting businesses and things, but, you know, when you're on a budget, sometimes there's other options that do the same job. Okay, now I've got this because I got it as a birthday present, but yes, so we're just going to rough up the edge. It's not going to be anywhere near the same as what the other edges are, and also you don't need to do this because as a card maker you don't actually need to ink. You can ink, but you don't need to ink around the edges of anything. So, and then we're going to do that. We're just going to line them up. Now, some people kind of do it half and half, so they'd line this edge up with the centre of that, but I'm not going to. I kind of like it quite offset and a little bit down. And that's it, guys. We're just going to glue them on. As I said, you could ink around the edge if you wanted to. That is fine. I don't want to. You know, I do ink around a lot of things, being a journaler and junk journaler, and, you know, just general crafter. Tend to use ink a lot. So I'm actually finding it quite nice to not have to worry about the inking side of things. Alrighty, and this is like what they would call clean and simple look. A clean and simple design and a clean and simple look. Learning all these new technical jargon in the card making world, it's great. I remember when I first started in the junk journal rabbit hole, thinking, what on earth are these people talking about? Some of it I knew from when I used to scrapbook and album making and things when I was younger, but then other things and I'm like, huh? Like belly band, I knew what a belly band were, but then, you know, when there was on about other things, I'm like, what on God's green earth are they talking about? But yeah, so I'm kind of a bit like that a little bit with the card making, but some of it's not too bad because, you know, like you can work it into journaling and things. Fun fact, a lot of card makers on YouTube actually used to be journalists, or, you know, like, trying to open it that way, don't go that way. Yeah, a lot of them that I've been watching anyway used to be journalists, or not junk journalists as such, but used to journal, or they would, like, scrapbook and that sort of thing, so that's pretty cool. Right, so because we have used this background, we are going to use this background for the sentiment to land on. You could mix it up and do all sorts. And I have here in my little sentiment box, bits and bobs box, some sentiments already stamped out. These are just scrappy bits for stamping other sentiments onto, which we keep hold of. Okay, so we have a thank you. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Pretty. Okay, we have this one, which is live in the moment and make it so beautiful that it will be worth remembering. Wise words there from Tim Holtz. And we just have a simple hello. Hello. Oh, I like that. Oh, I actually really like that, just there in that space. Yep, we're going with that. Then we have a Shine Brightly, and this is the fun bit. You just work it, you know, figure out where you want to put it. And then we have, in dreams we catch glimpses of life larger than our own. Beautiful. Like I said, they're just a few of the things that I have been stamping with, and they have come from, where have they come from? Where have they come from? Because it's not that one. Oh, I bet I've put it back in the, yeah, I think I have. I think I've just put that back in the filing cabinet. I've just looked and thought, oh, I'll take them off. Okay, but they're there, so I don't know what it's from. Don't know the batch number or whatever, so anyway, yeah. But we're going to use Hello, and actually the Hello isn't even from that one. The Hello is from this Sizzix one here, which is doesn't say, does it say New Beginnings? Okay, so it is the New Beginnings set, stamp set from Sizzix. Can't read that. Which is number 665108. And I got this from my local charity shop for £1, and wow, I've used it quite a bit. And actually, where did the card go? This Let Love Grow is this one from this set as well. I love this set. Yeah, so I've used it quite a bit. It's a good little set. Even better for £1. Right, so now we're going to pop that up onto there. Now see, the thing is as well, oops, hold your scissors up, you lunatic. Because this one was offset to this side on the green one, it made sense to use that backing, whereas this is going to go, where should we put it there? I kind of wanted it up there, didn't I? But to put it up there, I don't think it'd look right on there. So maybe, no, I kind of want it there in that space there. Right, so it kind of doesn't make sense to use that because it's going to be on there and it's not going to look right. We need some contrast. We need something to make it pop. So this is where, how about maybe a bit of black? This is where little bits of scrappy card and things come in very, very useful. Black always goes well with, you know, black sentiments on white, and that really would stand out. But this is about kind of, do you want the sentiment to stand out or do you want the background to stand out? That one kind of everything goes. This one is kind of a bit muted, so we have some green file folder here, a scrappy piece of file folder. That would be nice because we're picking up the green from there. Kind of drawn to black, but of course, you know, I would be because that is my go-to. What else have we got? Nothing really. We've got some white, but it's white on white then. Let's do the green. Yeah, I just make like little pouches and put scrappy bits of cardstock in them so that they're easy to get to, easy to use. What have I got in here? Have I got a green one in here? No. Oh, got a brown one though. What's that going to be like? No, that does not work. Oh, that doesn't work. What about that? Ooh, that's interesting. That is just some cardboard packaging. We've got that. Let's have a look at this. Don't think that one. I think this one. That one's the way to go, I think. Okay, so let's put these scrappy bits back in there. Put them away. Alrighty, and for this, what I did with this one was I didn't use the Tim Holtz trimmer. I used these kiddie scissors. So what I will do is, to keep it uniform, sort of, I will use these scissors on this as well. So just round the edge, like so. Kind of pop that there, and then we know where we're going to, and then there like that. Yep, and then we'll just cut the top bits and very close to the bottom edge, like just on the edge. Okay, like so. And that's all you need. I mean, obviously you could just do it square, well, rectangular, but I think that just adds so much fun and a bit of extra detail to your cards. Cute! Alrighty, so let's glue this onto here first. Now I stamped this on the back of some glossy photo paper that I just don't use. So obviously the back of the photo paper is just normal paper, but then the printable side is glossy, and as I said, I don't tend to use it for anything anymore other than printing photos. So I do utilise it by stamping on the back of it, which is the normal paper side, and then glue the glossy side down. And also a little tip there for any journalers or whatever, if you are making pockets, it makes a good base for a pocket, because you can like decorate the paper, like the back side of it, which is the plain papery side, or you can stamp on it, or you can glue stuff, like do a collage or whatever and glue it onto it, but then you glue around the edges of the glossy side and put it onto whatever you're making, and then things slide in and out of it really easily. So fun fact there, guys, and I think I want that there. So we've got this nice space and we're not taking away from the pattern too much. So yeah, I think we're going to do that for this one. Okay, you can raise it up as well if you want to with some foam squares, foam dots, squares, whatever you want. A bit of card. You have a little bit of wiggle room with this glue, but not much. Okay, so it's going to go there like that, and well, presto, we have a card. Now I have a stamp that says just a note, and I kind of want to just put it there. What did I do with it? It is here. Well, I have one here that says just a note. I also have one here that just says thinking of you. Hello, just a note. Or hello, thinking of you. I think I want the thinking of you. Oh, sorry guys if you hear my tummy grumbling there. Where are my stamping blocks? Oh, there they are. Okay, it's massive, but very overkill. Alrighty, I'm going to use some archival ink. This is archival black soot, my favourite ink. Alrighty, and I'm going to just pop that there directly onto the card. Normally I would put this in my stamping platform and do it that way, but I should have done that. I'll go around that with a black pen. It'll be alright. And then clean this off. I do have archival cleaner for the ink and stamps and stuff, but if you're quick enough, once you've done it, you can get it off with just a cloth, which is good because it saves some of the sticky residue. Right, so with that, I'm just going to get a pen and make sure it's going to work. Yep. Thinking. Of you. Yeah. Not perfect, but that's fine. Okay, so there we have another card. So we have a hello, thinking of you, and then of course you can write, excuse me, directly in there, or how about we do this as, excuse me, how about we do this as well, where just on the inside of the card we write just a note. Maybe there, maybe there. Put it there, saying just a note. There we go. Because then you could use the whole of the inside of the card to send somebody a nice little note. You know, like a note card. That is dry now because it's archival. Yeah. So, and I kind of want to stamp something down here in the bottom corner. So, let's have a look at what we have. How about this little one here? Yeah, let's do this fun one. Don't put the stamping block away again. Yeah, I think that's cute. However, I don't want to use black. Let's use a lovely cracked pistachio colour. Maybe. Yeah, let's use a nice greeny blue. Greeny blue, but a nice greeny colour. And just going to pop that there in the corner. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Lovely. And of course this is oxide ink, so it's very easy to clean. Okay, and we are done with that one. Obviously you don't have to stick to black. Just give that a minute or two to dry because it's oxide. Yep, there we go. And there we go. So we have hello, thinking of you, just a note, so you write your note, and then we have this beautiful little design in the corner, bottom corner. Cool. So we have a let love grow and a hello, thinking of you, and then if you wanted to, either on here or here, I probably wouldn't do it on here, you could add things like little embellishments. So for example, I have these like clear drops, so you could add those around as well. just to add a bit of bling. But I'm happy with those the way they are. Nice and simple. And yeah, and also not just nice and simple, but with this one especially, you've got the beautiful texture as well. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. It just adds just another layer to your cards. Beautiful. Okay guys, so I think you get the gist of what I was doing. Actually, now I've stamped that in there, I kind of want to stamp it again in here. So let's refocus. Where's the stamping block? There it is. Oops. So that's a bit of a, let's pick the strongest colour, which is this. So let's maybe do Fired Brick. Just on the inside. Yep. Again, let's do this bottom corner. People don't always, oh beautiful, people don't always decorate the insides of the cards, but it's something that I want to start doing, even if it is just adding that little bit there. It's so cute. Oh no, no. Pay attention to your surroundings, guys. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Can you see that red there? Because idiotic me, and you've probably just watched me do it. Come to stamp, and what did I do? Lifted the card up so it's rested on the ink. Oh my gosh. And that will not come up, even though it is oxide. It just won't come up. Oh man. Man. What an idiot. Actually, let's see if we spritz. No, it's not going to lift, but... Wow. Right. Be aware of your surroundings when you're stamping, guys. This is why I like using the stamping platform. Anywho, at least you got to see it before I messed it up. Yeah, so you get the gist of what I'm doing. Yeah, so for goodness sake, stop it. Yeah, so I think, you know, and it's not just these, you could do it with design paper as well. But yeah, so if you're going to do it with something like this from the Taperlogy, obviously, then you have another side to it as well. So, and you could also fussy cut around to make it a little bit more interesting. Let's try that actually. A little bit interesting, a little bit dimensional as well. Because there's not a lot on here that needs to be saved other than the actual leaves. My fussy cutting is a rubbish, and it'd work better if you use some smaller intricate scissors. However, I find I have a little bit more control with bigger scissors. Sorry guys, a bit of a detour here, but that's the fun of using products. You come set out to do one thing and then you end up doing other things, and whilst you're doing other things, like, oh, I could do that as well. Which is a joy and also sometimes a curse. Because you need to get things done, like spring cleaning in the summer. But now all I want to do is make cards. Here. Okay, so there we are, guys. We now have this beautiful dimensional leaf that could Ooh, now I want to make another guide with that. I'm going to go, guys. I'm going to love you and leave you. I can't even fix that one now. But, yeah. How cute would that look on there? Anyway, yep. I'm going to love you and leave you, guys. So, thank you so much again, Florence and your team at Taperlogy, for the beautiful products. And these are beautiful papers. As I said, you can make cards with them, but you can do whatever you want with them. They are gorgeous. Yeah, and I can't believe I ruined that. Yeah, anyway, so thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and take care, guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.